Hi guys, how are you today? I'm doing splendidly. Today I'm here to share with you my summer reading plans, and I can already tell that this is going to be a shit video. Number one, because there's way too many books. I'm never going to read all of them. And secondly, I also packed all of my stuff in my suitcase and closed it and shit. And then I realised I was going to film this video and I had to unpack everything and get my books out and get my makeup out and everything. So, do you guys realise everything I do for you? Let's just get started, shall we? First book that I want to read or get to this summer is 1,000 Miles to Freedom by the person on the cover. I'm assuming it's the author. Surprisingly, I know it's going to come as a shock to you guys, but it's a book about North Korea. I know, you're absolutely mind-fucked right now. I just can't. This is just so unlike myself. I talked about it in my June book haul, I think. This is basically the story of a North Korean defector, and you guys know I'm fascinated by North Korea, so I'm going to read it, hopefully. It's a pretty short book as well, so I think I should be able to manage, right? Next on my list, my to-read list, or my TBR, my summer TBR, is Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. So, let me just explain to you guys how much of a shitty human being I am. Really. I have not read The Girl on the Train because I tried to be a hipster-ass bitch when it first came out, and so I didn't read it because it had just so much hype. And I've learned my lesson, okay? Books that are overly hyped aren't always worth it, so I didn't read it. But this one just seems really interesting and I want to read it. So, as far as I know, which is not much because I'm an ignorant motherfucker, this book is about someone named Jules. I don't even know if the main character is a girl or a boy. I'm doing this YouTube thing really not the right way. But yeah, it's about this person called Jules, and their friend Nell didn't pick up the phone. No, wait, it's the other way around. No. Jules didn't pick up the phone when Nell called. Honestly, unsubscribe. And basically now Nell is dead. And Jules feels bad about it, I'm assuming. I'm assuming you've already unsubscribed, so I think we'll just move on to the next book. I want to read it. It just seems interesting, okay? Just shut up. Okay, so the next book that I really want to read is Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Susan. I think that's how you pronounce her name, but then I could be doing it wrong like everything else in my life. I tried to read this book a few months ago, but I didn't go further than 50 pages because I was in a reading slump and I just could not be fucked to read anything. So yeah, we're just gonna pathetically excuse my laziness and pass it off as a reading slump. So yeah, I just didn't finish it, and I really want to finish it because I was actually enjoying it. It's just that I didn't read it because I'm dumb. This book is supposed to be trashy. Which is cool because I really enjoy trashy reads. Honestly, this is the epitome of a trashy read, and I'm really going to enjoy it. It's about those 4 girls and they move to New York City and they want to have a fancy life, and yeah, just sounds like what I would do if I had a bit more, bit less laziness. Next book I want to read is American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. I really want to read this book. I'm pretty sure you can't see the cover because of this lighting, but can you see it? It's got a pretty cool cover. It's white with a blood splatter. You don't need to know this. So the reason I'm picking up this book is number one because one of my friends read it and she really liked it, and she got into all of Bret Easton Ellis's other books. So I've got pretty high expectation for this one. It better not let me down. And the second reason is that I want to branch out of YA, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I really want to get into more psychologically traumatizing books that will leave you to cry yourself to sleep every night. And I thought that this would be a good book to start with. So there we go. Next thing I want to read was a book that was on my May TBR. Shout out to Goodreads for reminding me every time I log on that I'm 3 books behind schedule. I get it, thank you. But yeah, the book is Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. By the way, do you appreciate the Game of Thrones t-shirt? You better. I paid an unreasonable amount of money for it. This is the 3rd installment in the Game of Thrones series, or the Song of Ice and Fire series, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I love the series, but I don't want to be in the same situation as everyone else, where they finished and binge read all of the books, and George R.R. Martin just isn't fucked to write the rest of the series. So I'm going to take my time with it, but I really do want to read it. So I'm going to take these. I've already started reading like 5 pages of this one. Yeah, so this is 2 books because it's like the editions that have been split into 2. Next book I want to read is North Korea Confidential, because one book about North Korea just isn't enough to satisfy my thirst for human misery. This book isn't really a defector story, it's more of a political view of the country, which is something that I kind of need to know more about if I'm serious about learning more about the culture and the country and all of that fun stuff. So I really want to read it. I remember watching a lot of documentaries and movies and reading books about North Korea, but there were a lot of things that escaped my notice because I didn't know that much about the history and the political situation of North Korea. So I really want to read this, and it's a pretty like thin book, so hopefully I'll be able to get to it. Next on my list of books that I need to read is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I've started reading this and I'm 2 chapters in and I'm already bored out of my fucking tits, and I don't have any tits, so that's saying something. I guess that I see why people like it so much, but I'm just not a fan of the writing. I'm probably gonna carry on reading it because I'm not the sort of person who can just DNF a book. I'm going to try. I am going to try and read it. So I don't know how it's going to go, but I don't know. My expectations are just really high in general. So, yep. Next book I want to read is a book that I got a few months ago, I want to say. My mum gave it to me as a present because I told her that I wanted to read more like thrillery sort of shit. She almost like, you know, cut my head off because of all the YA that I've bought in the past 2 years, but she got me a thriller, and that book is Kill the Next One by Federico Axet. This is the first time I've said the name of an author without just turning the book over to look at the name, so I'm doing good. I think Lily talked about it in one of her videos, so you probably all know what it's about. It's basically this guy who's gonna die of terminal cancer, but he's got the choice between, you know, dying slowly and killing himself, or killing 2 other people, and yeah, and then someone kills him, and it's kind of like this suicidal sort of domino effect. Domino effect? Is it like in the thing they describe it as a suicidal daisy chain, but I don't really see how that works either. Why do people even watch me? Okay, moving on. The final book that I want to read this summer, and I'll be lucky if I even get there, because honestly, I'm setting myself up for failure, like big time, is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. I really want to read this partly because I like anything like mental health related. I think that it's interesting, and also partly because my English teacher recommended it to the class and I really want to read it. And again, this is a book that I had picked up a few months ago, but I was in my reading slump and I wasn't fucked to carry on past the first 3 chapters. So I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna have to. It's gonna happen. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this shit show. If by some miracle you liked the video, please subscribe, like, leave a comment. You can subscribe over here and check out my last video over here, or the other way around. I still have no idea how this works, even though I've been here for like over 6 months. Yeah, I shall see you guys soon. Bye!